What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am Postman, and today we're going to be mixing it up a little bit, and we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I am extremely excited for this game. The trailers look amazing, and the first mission they actually just released, I believe it was yesterday, they released a full gameplay for one of the campaign missions. It looks absolutely amazing. So, in this video, I'm just going to be kind of talking about COD, what I think about it, what one of my hopes are for the game coming up, and yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So I've been playing Call of Duty for a very long time, ever since about, I believe, the original Modern Warfare, and I have absolutely loved the game. The game is amazing. Over the years, it's kind of slowed down a bit for me. I haven't consistently played Call of Duty since Black Ops 4, I believe, which was since the Modern Warfare era was probably one of the better Call of Duties in my opinion. I'm actually pretty hyped for this COD. It looks pretty good. Graphics are great. Gameplay so far looks pretty good. This mission alone, it looks absolutely excellent. And I'm a little bit nervous for some of the things I did see in it when it comes to potential multiplayer. But I think that's something that we'll talk about when we get some more reveals and everything. Yeah, we'll see exactly how that goes. I absolutely love the look of the guns in these games. It starts out a little bit slow. We don't get to really see much running or sliding or anything, but the graphics alone are just absolutely amazing. I think one of my biggest concerns is, for how amazing this campaign already looks, just seeing one mission, I'm kind of worried that they didn't put as much time into the multiplayer. The last couple of years have really been lacking in everything that's been going out. They did pretty well with maps for the last Call of Duty, but honestly, I think they could have worked so much better in all the different guns, camos, everything. It just felt a little lackluster and way too grindy to play. One of the clips that does come up later in this mission you'll get to see is there is mounting in there as well. And I do not like mounting weapons. I know it's going to be a camo grind for some of the weapons, and I'm really, really hoping that they kind of steer away from these grindy camos and make it more fun. Make it things that people want to do in the game to grind those camos. One thing that's pretty interesting is I've noticed this weapon, it looks like a Vector or an SMG. The recoil on it is absolutely atrocious. I'm curious if there is multiple attachments on this, and I've seen a couple different videos and clips of people going over the different workshop and attachments you can put on weapons, so I'm actually quite excited for that. I'm really hoping that they're able to dial down and make it a little more customizable. And yeah, as of right now, the shooting looks very, very clean, looks very comfortable, and it actually looks not as clunky as I was kind of expecting it to be. So that's very, very good. At this point, we get to see some of the assault rifles. Well, at least one of them. And the recoil doesn't look that great on this either. It looks like it does have a silencer on. That's about all we can really see. I'm hoping that these are... Yep, there we got mounting. So I'm kind of really hoping that the mounting isn't a part in getting camos, because that is going to be grindy and boring. No one wants to just sit in one spot and aim. Also here we get to see a little bit of the movement. Unfortunately, the sliding looks a little clunky. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going to be in actual multiplayer. I feel like in some of the Modern Warfare games you get a little bit more speed and you're able to slide a little bit better, but that looked a little clunky, so we'll have to see how that is. And I don't know about you guys, but one of my main game modes that I've played throughout the Call of Duty series was Search and Destroy, so movement is a very, very, very important aspect of getting around and being able to get to the sites on time. I'm kind of hoping some of their newer maps have a lane system, because I feel like they've really been lacking in the maps in the previous Call of Duties that we've seen over the last couple of years, when it was Modern Warfare 2019, Vanguard, and I feel like they've really kind of been slacking on that side in the maps. There's been a couple decent ones, but once again, there's too many spots to hide, too many different lanes, and just it's very campy and very grindy, which kind of ruins Call of Duty for me in a sense, where I like a very fast-paced gameplay. So I'm hoping that this one is able to live up to that expectation and really be able to satisfy that craving of just running around and spinning into their spawn and just killing all of them, and then just waiting for the spawn swap where you're able to go to the other side of the map and just really being able to control the map. Right now I feel like it's very difficult to. It's campy and it doesn't hold up very well. And I've heard a lot of content creators starting to talk about it, because a lot of people got early access to play it already or got flown in to play it. I'm obviously a new YouTuber, don't have that access yet, but yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of competitive players, especially, which is kind of the side that I like to play towards. I'm a casual player, but at the same time, when I play, I like to play competitively. I like to play the best I can. So I'm really hoping that, it's not just people over talking and hyping it up just for content, or it's people that genuinely enjoyed the multiplayer and how the game felt. Because, let's be honest, that part is by far the most important. As everybody knows, Call of Duty's kind of been slowing down over the last couple of years in player count, and I think that this game really is the make or break it to being able to put them back kind of on the map as of right now. We are going to have a nice 2-year break, which I think is going to be excellent for the franchise. I think it's something that they really need to consider sticking to and giving these developers time to really push out a well-developed game and make sure that everything is aligned and perfect as it should be. One thing I really did want to point out about this mission specifically is I love the crate sliding as the storm hits the ship. I think it's absolutely amazing detail to add in those little things. It's amazing to me that people are able to even design things like this. I'm really hoping that this kind of detail carries over into the multiplayer. I think it would, not necessarily moving crates, but the amount of time it's probably taken to develop all this and get everything perfect. It's those small things that really layer and add depth to playing, and I think that's something that this franchise really needs, because as I said, as it's falling off, they're going to need to start bringing some people back, and it can't just be focus on all either campaign or Warzone. I think multiplayer has been held off a little too long for the last couple of years, and I think it's something that if they really focused on could bring back a lot of their player base, because let's be honest, this game started out as a multiplayer game. Although the campaigns were absolutely amazing back in the original Modern Warfare and going to Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, it's really started lacking in the multiplayer aspect since then. And the Black Ops series did pretty well itself too. But yeah, I'm hoping they really just focus down on this multiplayer, give some really good maps on release, no issues when it comes to camos. I feel like all the camos should be perfect right from the start. I don't think we should have any glitches, any issues. The other thing I think that really needs to be focused on is the different challenges that they have. I think 100%er is almost a necessary challenge, especially for people who play a lot and grind for a long time. I think it's going to be necessary. Next thing I wanted to talk about while watching some of my old Call of Duty Black Ops 4 clips, which, as I said before, this is probably the most recent Call of Duty I played. Absolutely love this game. I think they did a fantastic job. A couple issues, as in every game will have, but yeah, this is by far probably one of the better Call of Duties that we've had in the last 10 years, in my opinion. But another thing I wanted to talk about was Warzone. I really think that Warzone missed the mark for me. I did like some of the gameplay, but I feel like they made it a little bit too easy when it came to supply drops and just bringing people back with money. I really like the aspect of you died, you were gone. And I think Blackout really hit the mark on that. The game seemed extremely satisfying, and I think it just did a really good job. Not to mention, in Blackout, the map was very well designed. I feel like Warzone, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I am horribly blind pretty much. I get a little lost in a lot of the Warzone map. It's very grainy, and it's very busy, and that's one of the things that I think Blackout did a pretty good job. Now, I understand over time maps are going to get more busy, and they're going to get better development, and especially as we go into Unreal Engine 5, we're going to be seeing some insane maps in the future, but I feel like they're a little busy for me, for my eyes to keep up, especially as I get older. So yeah, it's one of those things that I'm really hoping that, especially when they carry on with Warzone, that they take some of the consideration into account for people talk, because I've heard a lot of content creators talk about how much they love Blackout versus Warzone, and I know it's something that a lot of people aren't honest about, because especially if they're a content creator looking at Warzone and Blackout, they're going to keep going with what's going. So obviously they're going to talk well about Warzone because they want their viewers to also watch. So I think it's a big part of it that they really need to focus down and get Warzone in line. I think making it a little bit more difficult and making it so the average player, although they should have fun, I feel like they shouldn't be given easy lobbies nonstop. I think it should be a little bit more difficult, and I think it will kind of in turn people to do better. That's a big part of Call of Duty, is you jump into Call of Duty and you're supposed to get better at the game. You're supposed to be able to learn the game, and you're supposed to be able to play against better kids, because let's be honest, no one ever got better at video games or really anything in life by doing the easiest thing. So I'm kind of hoping they take that into account and they get rid of skill-based matchmaking pretty much. Ever since they added it, and it's been going for the last couple of years, it hasn't done very well in my opinion. I don't think it creates a consistent player base to continue to play the game. I think it makes people want to stop playing, and no one wants to play sweaty lobbies all the time. If I want to grind out camos, and especially with how the camos are now, if I want to keep grinding those, it's difficult to do so when I'm playing against kids with the best LMGs, marksman rifles, and assault rifles who are just one-tapping me from across the map while I'm trying to get long shots with an SMG. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was also I'm really hoping that they have separate Warzone and multiplayer camos and everything. Like, one of the things in Warzone that was absolutely just kind of missing the mark for me was they didn't have camos like the numbers camo that they had in Blackout, and they didn't have things to really kind of show a different skill level while playing in Blackout or Warzone. I think that, once again, as I said, I think Blackout really did pretty well with that. You went into a multiplayer with the numbers camo, you knew that someone grinded in and they were able to do something that I guess the average player wouldn't have been able to do as easy, and I think that's something that they need to add in this future game. Now, don't get me wrong. Although I am kind of talking negatively about it already, I am extremely hyped for this Call of Duty. I think they can really kind of bring the franchise back for me. And if this Call of Duty doesn't do it, the last chance is going to be in 2024 when we get that next Call of Duty that they've had years to develop. I mean, with all that time in developing the new game, I feel like Treyarch can really take the 2024 one and make a lot of potential for it, especially if this one kind of flops. I'm hoping that this one they've learned their lessons from the last game. The 33% player decrease over the last couple months. I mean, just this year alone has not been very good for Call of Duty. And a lot of people speculate that COVID made a big difference in boosting up their numbers and everything, but I think Modern Warfare wasn't a horrible game. It made it really, really well for newer players and not as skillful players, which I completely understand. But as I said, the point of playing video games and the point of playing games in my eyes is to get better at the game. And if you're not getting better at the game and you're not playing against better kids, that's why the game dies out for people so quick, is they can play for a month and then they get bored, because when you're not getting better at a game, what's the point of continuing to play? It's not nearly as fun. And another thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is really, really important for Warzone, is the looting aspect of when you add money and a currency to a game where people can buy loadouts. I think it really just goes away from any point whatsoever of looting in the game. Whenever I played Warzone, it would pretty much be loot for the next 5 minutes after landing, and then after that, it was really pointless to loot. There was no reason to anymore. You got your loadout, you dropped it down, and then you pretty much just start rotating for circle. And after that, you just stay on the outside of the map, rotate circle, go for some kills, and really it's pretty boring in my opinion. I think looting and not having every single best weapon and kind of just doing and playing with what you're dealt with is really what made Warzone what it was. I apologize, not Warzone, Blackout. And I think that's something that they really need to touch on for updating Warzone in general. Is I like the concept that they added where new game adds in new weapons and it changes up Warzone and it kind of consistently makes it better, but I think they really need to make it so looting is actually worth it. As of right now, there's really no point. You just get money, get your loadout, and then you just go around the map. It's pretty much straightforward. I think if they consistently listen to all their viewers and they listen to all the different content creators talking about it, and especially the ones that, as I said, are more truthful about it and honest, where they don't really necessarily inflate the image of Call of Duty, which I think is a big part of that now, is finding the creators that speak honestly and they're open about everything, what they like, what they don't, what they dislike. And I think that's going to be a big part in going forward with the future games. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is I think health pools is a very, very important part. As I said, I know Modern Warfare 2019 did extremely well when it comes to numbers, but I think COVID could have also helped with that a lot, and it could have made it so people felt a little more comfortable playing, with skill-based matchmaking, of course, too. But I think they really need to kind of take a look back at the health numbers. I think as of right now, it's too difficult to really run around a map. I feel like you get shot in too quickly from people just sitting in corners and camping, and I feel like that's something that really needs to be looked at in the COD franchise, and really bring up those health numbers to make it so, as you've seen in some of these clips, I love sniping. That's one of my favorite things to do. Just running around quick scoping, and it was really difficult to do in the last Call of Duty. In Vanguard, it just was not easy to do because every single weapon had such a fast time to kill. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, I'll be probably putting out a little bit more Call of Duty content in the near future, especially as we get some more info on maybe multiplayer coming up in the next couple weeks, and hopefully we eventually get alpha, beta, and I'll be able to actually jump in and play a little bit of it, because as I said, I think that'll be a good way for me to get out some videos, and yeah, I'm excited. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell if you want to see when I release new videos. I've been trying to keep on a steady schedule of releasing one a week. So yeah, as I said, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.